Welcome. We are on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We are down at this moment for the equity market. Now we're going to talk about the session today with my guest. That is Doreen Mogavero of Mogavero & Co. Welcome back, Doreen.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So what's driving the market? We're having some economic data from United States, kind of disappointing, but we have strong signals from Europe. Good auction this morning.
Right. Well, I think that the retail sales over the holiday season were not as good as people were hoping, and certainly not as good as the talk about them as they were going on, I think. So I think that's slightly disappointing. You know, we've had some very good days. So I think we've had 2 days of people taking a little bit of money off the table besides a little profit taking. But I think overall people are starting to realize that there are some headwinds. You know, we started off, as we do every new year, with lots of resolutions and lots of good hope. And I think that they're starting to realize that there may be still a lot of things that we have to overcome.
And do you expect a lot of more interest on the market in the next few days? Tomorrow we have JP Morgan fourth quarter results, the first of the financial sector to report. According to estimates, they're going to be good earnings, and maybe the entire financial sector can recuperate a little bit after a horrible 2011?
Well, I think the financials have been pushing the market actually for the last few days. They've been acting much better, particularly stocks like Bank of America have made pretty good moves. Yeah. So I think people are starting to realize that they've been beaten up pretty badly and that there's some value there. Obviously, we want to see good earnings to keep that momentum going, and the fact that they're laying people off and cutting their costs and actually doing what they have to do to get lean and mean again, I think that's a good sign for the banks. Now, is that a good sign for the economy? I'm not sure if you're putting all those people back into the unemployment force there, and I think that's probably going to be problematic, and that has a trickle-down effect into real estate, particularly in a place like New York City, if we get a lot of layoffs here. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, really, but in terms of the banks and the sector, I think it's probably pretty good news that they are getting back into shape and people are starting to realize their value.
Now, talking about another value of a deal, talking about NYSE Euronext and Deutsche Boerse. We have heard that there could be some troubles in Europe, the antitrust, and now maybe people are starting to reconsider the deal. You know, we talk about the value of the share. It was a different Europe back then and a different market.
Well, I mean, I am a stockholder, so I will tell you that for full disclosure, but I think that the strategy that the board and that our management here was employing in initiating this deal, I think is a good one. You know, I mean, the world is becoming more global, and I think the long-term vision is exactly right and where it should be. And I think, you know, the management and Duncan Niederauer particularly and our board have spent an awful lot of time trying to position us so that we can be competitive in the future on a global scale, and I think they've done a fantastic job with that. So I'm not as familiar with the details as you would like me to be, I'm sure, to comment exactly, but I think it is a different Europe, and it is a different America, and it is a different time. So in terms of the strategy that they saw in doing this deal, I'm still in very much in favor of doing something strategically along the lines of this deal. But I think that if the Europeans have taken it to a different place, it's a different deal now. It's not the same deal. There are a lot of things that concessions that we had to give up. So I would have to say that I think overall, I like the strategy. I don't know enough of the details to say whether I'm in favor or not at this point, and I think I would leave that to Duncan to decide. If Duncan's in favor, I'm in favor. You know, because I mean, he's been really on the mark in terms of positioning us for as long as he's been here, so I think that I wouldn't try to challenge that, I don't think.
Thank you very much, Doreen Mogavero, for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.